The galaxy believed humanity was harmless, like a child crawling inside a universe built by old giants, and every alien leader used Earth as a political joke in council meetings, calling humans emotional animals who discovered space before understanding peace. But on one silent morning, everything changed without warning. Every star network, every military channel, every data satellite, every ancient AI beacon lit with one message that arrived at the exact same second from Earth. And the words were simple like a whisper from history. Arc Titan rising. No additional line came, no threat, no explanation, no music, no coordinates, no dramatic logo, just two words glowing through the entire star map, repeating like a heartbeat echoing across systems older than human memory, and the Galactic Council first stared at the message in complete silence. Then laughter broke like glass hitting stone. Commanders laughed until tears came. Rulers joked with translators. Shows started making memes. 1,000 species mocked the idea that Earth, a world fighting over drinking water 30 years ago, could build something called a Titan, a name used only for god machines from extinct empires. And while the whole galaxy laughed, Earth did not talk again. Earth went silent like someone closing their eyes before speaking truth. 3 hours later, the silence exploded into reality when deep under the Pacific Ocean waves suddenly fell flat, not rising, falling backward like water remembered gravity wrong. Sensors around the planet screamed warnings. Gravity maps twisted, pressure numbers broke scientific charts, satellites lost signal, and in the exact center of the Pacific, the ocean did something no world ever did before. It opened in a perfect glowing circle, not like an earthquake line, not like volcano crack, but like a doorway cut into the sea by something smooth and ancient far under the water. And from inside that impossible door an object began to rise, not fast, not violent, but slow like a mountain deciding to stand. Black metal covered in thick ocean plant bones broke the surface first. Then a huge wall of metal shaped like a smooth cliff. Then more, kilometer by kilometer, plate by plate, until everyone understood this was not some human secret submarine. This was continent large. Moving island made of dark metal older than everything humans built after the Ice Age. Water ran down its sides like silver rivers falling from stone. Lightning formed without clouds and cracked across the sky like the sky itself was afraid of what was waking below. The world trembled. Cities shook but nobody ran. Millions stood glued to screens, recording with hands shaking, crying without knowing why, because some part of human memory recognized the shape even if their modern minds did not. And while that impossible ship rose like a forgotten god, the strangest thing happened. Tsunamis that should kill cities froze in mid-movement. Waves 30 meters high held in the air like photographs. Clouds stopped moving, birds froze in flight. Raindrops suspended like pearls. Gravity itself bowed around the ship, not because of weapon power but because its mass changed reality. Satellites in orbit moved without engines. Ships at sea floated upward and downward like gravity was confused about direction. And the world watched in silence while a single word began glowing across the metal body in bright white letters large as mountains. Titan. That one word broke every joke that ever existed about humans. That one word washed laughter out of the council chamber. Every alien leader who laughed earlier now stared at their screens with open mouths. Someone whispered inside the chamber, "This is not human technology." Another said with dry lips, "This is buried history." And the oldest archivist of the council stopped breathing for a moment because he remembered something from a myth, a line from an extinct civilization that died before. Humans grew cities. Fear the Titan buried under blue water, for when it rises the forgotten war returns. Suddenly, old automated distress beacons across the galaxy woke up from dead archives. Broken ruins of ancient worlds that died before humans learned writing began sending emergency messages in languages no one used. Warning signals from long-dead artificial minds begging like ghosts. "Please close the ark. Stop the Titan. They will see you." The enemy remembers Titan. The council fell into chaos. Screens full of dead civilizations pleading. While Earth said nothing, no government announcement, no UN speech, no flag claiming victory, only silence, like humanity itself did not know what they woke. Under the ocean, Titan continued to rise, now clear above water, showing huge curved surfaces like the wings of a metal creature. Smooth armor with symbols glowing in patterns like stars circling each other. Symbols humans did not write recently. Symbols that looked older, deeper. Written by hands that died thousands of years ago. and scientists around the world collapsed from shock when AI translated markings that matched no human language but matched carvings on ruins found under ice from forgotten ages, as if humans lived once before and erased their own past to survive something too terrible to remember. Every alien fleet now scanned Titan from hours away, but sensors just collapsed. Their screens showed only gravity distortion and mass impossible for planet. Thousands of AI maps showed wrong data, some showing Titan heavier than a moon, some lighter than air, some showing both, as if the ship was half in this universe and half somewhere else. In the council chamber, the laughter was dead, replaced by sweating fear, commanders shouting for defensive plans, mining empires screaming to evacuate nearby colonies, trade routes collapsing as ships turned off engines in shock, and deep space listening stations going dark because Titan was pulling their signals like they were whispers in wind. Yet Earth still said nothing. No humans visible on deck, no engines flaring, no weapon ports opening. Titan rose like a sleeping creature rising from bed without hunger or anger, only memory, and that memory was bigger than any government that exists today. In living rooms from Africa to Europe to Asia, families hugged in fear and wonder. Many cried without knowing why. Some felt a strange pain in their chest like grief from another lifetime, like their DNA remembered Titan even when their minds did not, like this ship belonged not to modern humans but to the ancestors of ancestors, people who lived before recorded history, people who fell fighting something so big that humanity had to start civilization from zero like children hiding from shadows. And while the world stared at Titan like a miracle mixed with death, the Galactic Council received one more message from a forgotten ruin world, a planet that died 10,000 years before humans had cities, and the message translated into every language without wrong word. Do not wake the Titan. The enemy will smell humanity again. Soldiers across 20 worlds felt their hearts drop, not from fear of humans, but fear of who humans feared, who forced humans to bury their Titan under an ocean and erase its name. Suddenly, the Council realized the truth. Earth had not built Titan recently. Earth had buried Titan long ago. Perhaps after a war no one survived except those who forgot they once lived among stars. The planet kept its secret for thousands of years. And now the secret was standing above waves like a metal mountain breathing storms. The council chamber turned darker. Screens dimmed from power fail. Energy systems crashed as Titan continued to rise. Gravity distortion hitting star networks like shockwaves. In alien cities traffic stopped because engines shut off from sudden gravity pull. Millions of newborn children cried at the same moment across the galaxy like some instinct woke in their blood. Something ancient and shared by life itself. Suddenly, Titan stopped rising. Half its body above the ocean. Half still submerged like it was testing the world. Water pouring down its sides like glowing rivers. The sky turned quiet. The ocean turned flat. Light moved across the hull like veins of white fire. And then, for the first time since this event began, Titan spoke. Not with sound. Not with radio. Not with network code. Titan's voice entered minds directly. Like a whisper in bone. Like memory speaking from blood. We remember. People dropped to their knees across Earth. Council members stared with tears on their faces. Every extinct AI beacon stopped sending messages, as if the ghost civilizations recognized a voice older than stars. And the galaxy understood one truth. Humanity was never small. Humanity was never weak. Humanity was recovering from something the galaxy never knew existed. Titan's rise was not a threat. It was a memory awakening. And waking memory means the past is coming. For many hours after Titan whispered, "We remember," the world stayed frozen in a strange silence, the kind of silence that comes before a storm that doesn't break the sky, but breaks the heart. And even though no sound traveled through the air, every human felt something heavy moving inside their bones, like their blood was trying to recall a dream they never lived, like their DNA was reading an old story written in pain. And while billions stared at Titan above the Pacific, the Galactic Council struggled to understand why extinct civilizations screamed for the ship to be shut down for the sake of the galaxy itself. And that confusion led to the first investigation into human history that humans themselves never dared to ask. On Mars, under the red dust where new cities grow like flowers of steel, a historian named Dr. Lara Ishel sat shaking in front of ancient digital fragments from Earth's own forgotten past, shards of data older than pyramids, older than every holy book, older than human memory of humanity, and each fragment carried strange symbols matching the glowing veins on Titan's hull, symbols she always believed were cosmic anomalies, random shapes carved by nature. But now, seeing Titan alive, she understood the truth that burned her eyes with tears. Those symbols are human before the current humans, before modern civilizations, before recorded language, from a time so old the world hid it under stories and sand. She played one fragment again and again, an old voice speaking in broken patterns, not in English, not in any known tongue, but a sound carrying grief deeper than any war today. We erase ourselves so our children can survive. The recording whispered, and Dr. Lara cried because she finally understood what Titan really is. Not a weapon built by today's world, but a lifeboat built by a disappearing world, a ship designed to save humanity when humanity was dying from an enemy so powerful. Humans could only survive by forgetting who they were. The Council mocked Earth for being young, but now it was clear, Earth is old in suffering, old in war, old in loss, older than every empire in the sky, and the modern human world we see today is not the beginning. It is the second childhood of a species that once walked among stars before any alien empire rose. That truth spread like fire among frightened minds, and governments called secret emergency meetings. Scientists tore through old artifacts found under ice in Antarctica and under Sahara sands where bodies were buried without bones. Only dust shaped like human outline, and every discovery pointed to one terrifying truth. Humans once lived through something called the Great Collapse, a war so absolute that civilizations chose to erase technology, erase star records, erase their own identity, letting only one ship survive under the sea, sleeping until the universe became safe again. Titan was not meant to conquer planets, it was meant to carry a planet, to save humanity's seed when the universe turned hostile. It was an ark, not a gun. Meanwhile on Earth, children began drawing strange shapes in schools, symbols not from cartoons or screens, but identical to the marks glowing on Titan's body, and teachers reported the same thing across continents, students waking from sleep crying, saying, "I saw lights, big lights, many lights exploding," and parents hugged them confused, thinking it was fear from news, but it was something deeper, the memory of ancestors rising through the youngest hearts. While humans were trying to understand themselves, the Galactic Council fell into war-level panic, because if humans are a recovered ancient species, then the enemy that destroyed them may still exist, may be searching, may be watching Titan rise like a flame in darkness. Alien commanders shouted inside council chamber, demanding to shut Earth down, to blockade the planet, to force humans to explain the ship, but old ambassadors, wise and slow, raised their hands and said in shaking voices, "If Titan is waking, there is a reason older than any of us, and if humans survived that reason once, we need them now, not war." But fear is fast, wisdom is slow, and not every species listens to patience. Pirate factions near the Council sent experimental fleets toward Earth, hoping to destroy Titan early, before it fully wakes, calling humans liars, calling Titan a danger to existence. But their ships arrived near Earth and collapsed instantly from gravity distortion, not because Titan attacked, but because Titan was not fully in this universe, half of its structure shimmering like a reflection inside water. Half material and half ghost, a machine that refused to exist fully until something triggered its core. On the Pacific shores, millions stood on rooftops, watching the massive dark shape spit out waterfalls from its sides, lights pulsing like ancient breath, and some cried from fear, some cried from pride, some cried without knowing why, but everyone felt the same thing. This ship is family, not a machine, not a weapon, but a monument of sacrifice from ancestors who died to give future humanity a chance to exist without knowing the price paid in blood. Inside Titan, sensors began waking like cells regenerating in a giant sleeping body. Deep chambers full of stardust and black crystal slowly lit with blue lights. Ancient HUD screens showing information about a war no one remembers. Tactical maps of enemy stars that no longer exist. Names of fallen fleets engraved like prayers. Lines reading, "Evacuation failed. Last children. Memory lock active." And the saddest line, "We leave them our tomorrow." The ship carried the last memories of humanity's first age, sealed behind locks that required living humans to unlock with their presence, and the world realized something painful. Ancestors didn't fail, they gave everything. They erased themselves so the second generation could grow without fear, without trauma, without knowledge of cosmic horror, letting them dream of simple things like love, work, laughter, children, building cities from trees and stone, not from Star Wars and screams. On Earth, military generals were terrified because no human alive built Titan, no human understood its technology, and yet the ship trusted them, rising now because something woke it, something outside Earth maybe, something approaching from deep space, something that remembers the war before humanity forgot. Dr. Lara recorded a message for the Council, her voice shaking like glass on metal. Titan is not a threat. Titan is a warning. Titan wakes only when enemy returns. And when the Council heard that, many collapsed into silence, imagining an enemy capable of forcing a species to erase itself, hide a planet machine under oceans, and restart civilization like babies born without history. Meanwhile, the old AI beacons from extinct civilizations sent one final message before shutting down forever, a last whisper through ancient language decoded by trembling translators. To the children of stars, if Titan wakes, hide or follow it, for the enemy will smell your blood across galaxies. That message broke the Council's pride like stone breaking in water. Rulers who mocked humans earlier cried quietly, whispering apologies that humans never heard. Under the ocean, Titan pulsed again like heartbeat of a metal giant, and the world saw a ring-like glow on its underside, spinning slowly like a star in cage. The power source of the ship, a miniature star compressed into something beautiful and terrifying, and the glow reflected across water like sunrise made of cosmic fire. Humanity stood united without saying a word, billions watching the same light over the Pacific, hearts beating in rhythm with a ship built by their forgotten ancestors. In the council chamber, one young diplomat whispered the first honest truth spoken about humans in centuries. Humanity did not rise today, humanity returned. Outside, the wind moved again, waves fell, clouds began drifting, gravity stabilized like reality sighing in relief, and Titan stopped moving, waiting like a guardian at the gate of time. The world breathed in slowly, understanding a truth that changed everything. Humans were never cosmic children. Humans are cosmic survivors, survivors of a war so ancient it became myth in their blood, survivors of extinction who chose to erase their pain to give future children a fresh world. And now, that old world was knocking on the door of the new one for almost 20 hours after Titan stopped rising. The galaxy lived in a strange heartbeat between fear and understanding, alien governments watching the giant metal continent floating above the Pacific like a piece of the past refusing to sink again, while humans stood silently across beaches, rooftops, mountains, deserts, parks, even prison yards, everyone staring at the glowing word Titan, trying to understand why something so huge felt familiar in the deepest place of the soul where no brain could reach. And while Earth was frozen in silent pride, the Galactic Council turned into a storm of fear disguised as strategy, fleet commanders shouting over each other, scientists screaming about gravity patterns, extremist empires demanding Titan be destroyed before it wakes whatever chased humanity across time, and merchants begging for peace because their trade routes died when every ship stopped moving, afraid of the dark metal thing that didn't even speak again. The loudest voices came from those who understood nothing, and fear spreads faster than truth. So before any negotiation with Earth could start, 12 hyperspeed battle fleets launched without Council permission. Rogue coalitions formed by nations who believed destroying Titan early would save the galaxy. Their commanders convinced that humans were lying, that Titan was a threat to existence, that humanity would use it to take revenge for ancient war they didn't remember. And those fleets crossed space like arrows shot by blind hands, carrying thousands of warships armed with planet-piercing beams and gravity hammers, designed not to fight star monsters, but to erase civilizations from the map. As they jumped into Sol System, humans detected the arrival instantly, not with radar but through Titan, because the ship responded to danger without human command, its lights pulsing once, like a heart waking from sleep, and waves around its body rose like a crown of silver water. War fleets screamed warnings, ordering Titan to power down or be destroyed, threatening a species that forgot war so deeply it built cities instead of armadas. And then the sky above Earth turned into fire as thousands of beams hit Titan all at once, blue light, red lightning, gravity-shattering energy, the strongest weapons of 12 civilizations in one burning moment of fear. Every weapon vanished. Not blocked, not reflected, vanished like rain swallowed by sand. as if space around Titan was not space anymore, as if time folded like paper around the ship and turned death into nothing. Soldiers in Warship screamed because their weapon screens showed zero power used, zero resistance, zero calculation, like they fired into a dream and woke empty-handed. They fired again, again, their commanders shouting that Titan must be overloaded, its armor must crack, its shields must break. But every attack entered a bubble of light around the ship and disappeared like smoke and wind. Earth stood silent, humans watching the greatest firepower in the galaxy fail like children throwing stones at a mountain made of memories. Some humans cried without fear, but from a strange sadness, because they understood something heavy. Titan was not defending, Titan was simply existing, and existence alone made weapons meaningless. Across the council chamber, scholars realized the horrifying truth hidden in old warnings. Titan is not a shield, Titan is a different reality. A moving object built with physics from an age when humanity understood the universe beyond what modern species call science. The ship half inside another dimension, removing any energy that hits it because the energy never truly touches this world. Fear spread through 12 war fleets as their engines failed, gravity around them twisting like invisible hands pushing metal from all sides. Their ships cracked without a sound, AI systems died like candles, and thousands of warships drifted helplessly toward Earth. Not crashing, but softly falling like dust caught in calm wind. Titan did not shoot them, Titan did not hurt them, Titan did not even face them. The fleets collapsed under their own attack, victims of fear they never needed to create. One commander cried in open broadcast, voice shaking like a child, "Nothing we do matters, nothing touches it." And the council finally understood the second rule hidden inside Titan's rise. Titan fights only what can kill it. Everything else is ignored like children playing war. In the middle of this collapse, something unexpected happened, something that broke the galaxy's cold logic. Titan opened a light corridor toward the falling ships, not a weapon, but a rescue path glowing like the arm of a parent reaching to catch falling children, gravity smoothing, engines restarting, ships pushed softly into stable orbit, saved by the thing they tried to destroy. Rogue admirals watched in shame as Titans saved their crews, their soldiers alive because the ancient human ship refused to punish fear with death. Horror turned into confusion. Confusion turned into heartbreak. Because now it was clear, humans are not seeking revenge. Humans erased their memory willingly so the galaxy would not inherit their trauma. Titan was not rising to destroy. Titan was rising to prepare. Behind Earth's moon, emergency signals activated from extinct archives. Signals now clear because Titan's presence unlocked the frequency. A ghost voice from a dead world whispered into every ship's audio channel. The voice of someone who lived 10,000 generations ago. Do not fight the children of Titan. They carry our hope. They are the second dawn of mankind. If Titan rises, the first enemy returns. War fleets that came to destroy Earth now begged for forgiveness, sending messages to the council. We attacked something that tried to save us, and the council replied with shaking words, "Do not fire again. Protect Titan." But the damage was done. The galaxy now knew a truth darker than war. If Titan is rising, something else must be rising too, something powerful enough to force humanity to erase itself once, something dangerous enough to make a species bury its strongest ship under the ocean and start civilization from dust, pretending they were weak so the enemy would forget them. On Earth, people touched their screens like they were touching the surface of the ship, tears rolling without reason, because they felt a connection deeper than blood. Titan was their grandmother, their ancestor's voice, the last promise of a dying world whispering across time. We left this for you. Children asked their parents what Titan was, and parents could not answer, their voices breaking when they said, "It's ours," without understanding how. The council sent a final message to Earth, voice shaking from fear and respect. "Please speak to us. We do not understand. What is Titan?" Earth did not answer with governments or armies. Titan answered itself, its symbols glowing brighter like stars mapped onto metal, its voice entering every mind again, soft like a mother speaking to a child, heavy like mountains remembering storms. We hid from extinction. We rise for return. And in that moment, every civilization in the galaxy realized a terrifying truth in total silence. The war that ended ancient humanity is coming back. The first enemy that humanity erased its own history to escape has found its signal. Titan rising is not the threat. Titan rising is the warning. And the future is now a countdown the galaxy cannot read. For the first time in the recorded history of the galaxy, 12 defeated war fleets floated in silence above Earth, their crews alive only because the thing they wanted to destroy chose mercy instead of victory, and the image of Titan saving enemy soldiers spread like wildfire across every star network, breaking opinions faster than any bullet or speech, because no commander could understand why a planet killer would choose gentleness, and while governments argued, civilians around the galaxy cried watching the glowing ring of light holding thousands of broken ships in safety, like a mother holding her children even if they tried to bite her hand, and Earth watched with heavy hearts as Titan slowly shifted its ancient plates like a creature stretching after centuries of sleep, blue veins of light moving across its colossal armor, symbols burning brighter, the ocean below trembling in quiet waves that no longer threatened land, as if the planet understood Titan was kin, not enemy. Then something impossible happened. Thousands of languages across the galaxy translated the same whisper at the same time. Not through radios, not through speakers, but directly inside minds, like a memory spoken from inside the heart. Do not fear. You are not the target. The council chamber fell into silence so deep that even breathing sounded loud. Rulers stared at holograms with wide eyes because they never heard a ship speak like a human dying from love. A voice calm, tired, full of memories too heavy for any world, and nations that attacked Earth felt their pride break like glass under truth, because Titan did not insult them, did not punish them, did not even recognize them as enemies. The ship saw them as something small and innocent, something that lived in the shadow of a storm they never saw, and that pity felt heavier than any weapon. Titan spoke again, and the light across its hull pulsed like a heartbeat made of stars. You are late to the war. Scientists collapsed into their chairs, because those words confirmed every nightmare hidden under ancient signals. Titan was not rising for conquest. Titan was rising because something was coming. Something that once erased humanity's first age and almost erased the second before it began. Something that forced a species to throw away its own past so the future could grow without fear. Something powerful enough to kill memories. The council begged Titan for answers, sending messages like prayers. What enemy? What war? Why wake now? And the ship answered like a ghost speaking across time. We built Ark to carry a world away. We failed. We hid under ocean until the enemy forgot the taste of our star. Tears fell in the council, even from species that thought crying was weakness, because they understood the deepest truth about humans. Humanity never started from Stone Age. Humanity felt a Stone Age. Humanity lived through something the galaxy could not imagine and chose to begin again with nothing, rebuilding life from mud instead of memory, carrying trauma so heavy it became silence. People across Earth hugged each other without words. Parents held their children tighter. Lovers held hands shaking. Old men remembered dreams they never lived, dreams of burning skies and metal storms. Nightmares they thought were imagination but now felt like inherited memory. And all across Africa, Asia, Europe, America, Australia, people stood outside under the same sky, feeling small beneath the ancient steel mountain rising from ocean. Titan's voice spoke again with a softness that hurt more than fear. You live the peaceful world we could not save. Protect it. That line broke humanity's heart wide open, because the ship sounded like a mother speaking to children she will not see grow. Instructions from someone who sacrificed everything. While humans dreamed of peace, their ancestors died fighting a silence too deep for words. Now the galaxy wanted to understand Titan, wanted to know what machine could shield stars from destruction, who built it, and why those builders vanished without leaving a message until today. Titan continued speaking as if reading the questions written in every mind. Ark is not a weapon. Ark is a seed. Inside my core sleeps the blueprints of worlds. Shock hit the council harder than any beam, because for thousands of years species feared Titan as a planet destroyer. But Titan was actually a planet maker. A ship designed to create new Earths far from war. A lifeboat meant to carry oceans, forests, animals, children, history, everything that makes life worth life. The council sobbed without shame, realizing how wrong they were, how deeply they misjudged humanity. seeing now that the strongest ship in the galaxy was built not to kill planets, but to save planets from destruction. And still, there was pain in Titan's voice, a crack in its tone like metal remembering old fire, as it whispered, "If attacked, Ark defends. If peace, Ark sleeps. Do not make us choose." Those words made commanders of powerful races fall to their knees, not from fear of death, but from shame. They attacked a ship begging to protect life. Titan spoke one last time, its tone dropping into something so ancient the stars seemed to echo it. "Enemy woke. They remember. They come for the second dawn." Across the galaxy, sensors lit like exploding stars, deep space detectors picking up signals from unknown coordinates moving closer with speeds that broke physics, signals older than human extinction events, signals matching the same frequency found in ruins of dead civilizations that begged close Titan. Fear spread across the council like poison, not fear of Earth, but fear of who Earth feared. Humanity understood something the galaxy never did. Power is not for domination, power is for survival. And now Titan was rising again because the universe that once hunted humans was hunting again. On Earth, the sky turned deep blue and the oceans glowed faint gold around Titan, like the planet itself was giving energy to its child. Mothers cried watching their babies sleep peacefully while a giant ship spoke of war older than stars. Elderly people whispered prayers from religions that never understood why humans always dreamed of apocalypse and rebirth. Titan's hull glowed one final time, the lights forming a shape like a burning circle, the image of a star held in a cage. And the galaxy understood. A war is coming that makes every past war look like a dream. Titan did not rise to scare. Titan rose to warn. The enemy is not coming for people. The enemy is coming for the world itself. The second attempt to erase humanity from existence, to finish what they started when Earth was still wrapped in ancient seas and human ancestors screamed in forgotten languages. Titan whispered a last message that moved through every soul like wine through leaves. "Fight if you choose. Run if you must. But protect tomorrow." Then its lights dimmed, and silence returned like a heavy blanket over the world. The council could not speak. No leader had words. The galaxy realized the truth too late. This was not humanity's beginning. This was humanity's warning to itself. And the future now depends on a species that learned peace by burying warfare the first minutes after Titan whispered, "Enemy woke. They come for the second dawn." The galaxy stayed frozen in a fear older than memory, so deep it felt like every star dimmed by one breath, and while everyone expected Earth to panic, humans stood in a strange calm, not because they felt safe, but because something inside their bones accepted the truth that their ancestors tried to hide. This war is not new. This fear is not new. Humanity has already died once in a storm the universe never recorded. Across dark space beyond mapped stars, something answered Titan's signal. Not words, not light, not sound, but a pulse. A wave of energy that moved like a predator smelling blood. And when that pulse touched deep space sensors, the screens didn't show an object, they showed absence. A silent field that swallowed starlight like hunger eats silence, and scientists screamed because they understood. The enemy is a moving emptiness, a ship that does not reflect light because it eats it, a fleet that does not fly through space but erases space around it, like holes of darkness traveling through brightness. The Galactic Council turned into a state of emergency, leaders shouting in terror, maps showing nothing, stars disappearing near the edge of the galaxy, one by one like someone wiping the night sky clean, and emergency broadcasts spread across worlds telling civilians to stay inside, as if walls could protect against shadows older than galaxies. And while every species asked the same scared question, why did they come now? Titan gave the answer without emotion, like a scar explaining pain. We rose. They smell us. That truth hit harder than any weapon. The enemy did not search for Earth for thousands of years because humanity erased itself, erased signature, erased technology, erased star routes, erased its own identity like a soldier burning letters so the hunter cannot track the family. And Titan sleeping under the Pacific was the last unbroken signature of the First Age, a glowing name written underwater to remind the universe one day, we existed. Titan waking is like lighting a beacon across infinite darkness, and the hunters saw it instantly. Across alien star systems, Panic turned into collapse, not from attack, but from ancient fear hidden in genetic memory. Species who never met humanity's enemy found themselves shaking because some nightmares are written into the universe itself, patterns of fear repeating like a song no one wants to remember. In the council chamber, the archivists connected fragments from extinct civilizations, broken archives from burned planets, stories written by dying machines, poems carved by survivors with shaking hands thousands of years before humanity built pyramids, and every piece told the same warning. They do not conquer planets. They erase history. They kill memory. Dr. Lara on Mars screamed in shock reading an ancient fragment matching Titan's whisper. We bury our star to save our children's breath. And she realized the horrifying truth. The first age of mankind didn't lose a war. It chose extinction over slavery. It chose to die free rather than live erased. And Titan was the last ark meant to carry survivors to a distant galaxy where the enemy could not follow. But something went wrong. Maybe betrayal, maybe sacrifice, maybe the shield around Earth failed, and the ark never flew, sinking under waves where it waited for children who didn't even know they were children of fallen gods. And now those children are standing on beaches crying without knowing why, hearing a whisper in blood, run, and refusing to run because humanity in its second life grew hearts too strong to hide again. Meanwhile, the Council received thousands of messages from star systems in the path of approaching darkness, entire civilizations begging Earth for help, the same species who mocked humans earlier now crying on screens saying, "Please protect us. Tell us what to do, we will follow your rules." While their warships stand useless in front of a threat that does not behave like normal fleets, moving through space like hunger with direction. Titan glowed brighter, the word ark appearing next to Titan, symbols changing like language evolving in real time, and a new whisper passed across every mind connected to the ship. Not loud, not angry, just tired and ancient. We built Ark to save you, not to win war. Commanders across the galaxy fell into despair because that one line explained everything. Titan is not a sword, Titan is a shield, a moving world carrier meant to rescue life, not eliminate death, and now the enemy coming is not afraid of being killed because their purpose is not war. Their purpose is erasure, to destroy everything that remembers humanity so the universe forgets humans ever existed. While panic spread through alien worlds, Earth remained painfully quiet, not because humans felt brave, but because billions understood subconsciously that running is worse than dying, that their ancestors already sacrificed the chance to escape so children could grow under blue sky instead of metal stars. In that silence, the world's leaders did something the First Age never tried. They united, not by treaty, not by threat, but by shared fear and shared love for a world they didn't want to bury again. No political fight, no argument, no debate, just a truth that moved like electricity. This time, we fight together. Scientists on Earth worked on Titan's awakening, decrypting symbols that felt like instructions for children left by dying parents. Feed the ark water, give ark sky, speak memory into metal. And the arcane lines glowed brighter with every attempt. Titan reacted like it understood humanity's second generation. Lights moving across armor like emotion, like pride, like sorrow for what it must wake for. Meanwhile, the Council live-streamed images of stars fading at the edge of the galaxy. Tiny suns swallowed into absence, like candles blown out by invisible breath, and one ambassador cried openly saying, "Please, humans, your world survived them once. Teach us how." And for the first time, alien pride shattered completely, leaving only pure trust. Titan whispered again, voice falling into the deepest sadness ever heard in any language. "The enemy we ran from comes for you now. We cannot hide twice." Those words fell through hearts like stone dropped into deep water, ripples spreading forever. Humanity cannot run again. Earth cannot erase itself again. Hiding twice means extinction without memory. A death so complete even stories die. Titan's lights formed a circle shape projected into the sky, a star inside a ring. A map of something unknown, maybe coordinates, maybe warning, maybe history, and the ring turned slowly like time itself turning its head to look back at forgotten war. Council scanners recognized the shape instantly from ancient warning archives. The symbol of Last Dawn. Historians fainted seeing it alive, because Last Dawn means the only sunrise after everything else is ashes. Fear became humility around the galaxy. Even powerful empires now silent like children in front of a parent's grave. And they all spoke the same hope. We will stand with Earth. And across Earth, every screen, every speaker, every piece of metal connected to Titan translated the ship's final line of the day. A voice heavy with generations of pain and love. Prepare, not to win, to protect tomorrow. Then Titan's lights dimmed, not like power dying, but like eyes closing before battle. Its massive body resting above water like a mountain sleeping under clouds. The galaxy understood something broken and beautiful at once. Humanity was never a weak child. Humanity was a wounded ancestor trying to raise children who did not grow up in war. And now those children must become what their parents once were. Across the galaxy, as Titan's last whisper, prepare, not to win, to protect tomorrow, faded into silence, something changed deep inside every civilization. A shift like gravity turning in the heart, because even the proudest empires understood the truth their ancestors never faced. Humanity did not wake Titan for conquest. Humanity woke Titan because the war that erased an entire age of mankind was returning. And this time there was no place left to hide, no safe galaxy to run toward, no secret star to bury memory in, and while fear filled the council chambers, a strange unity began to rise like light blooming in darkness, old enemies reaching out to old rivals, fleets sharing shield frequencies, scientists exchanging decades of research freely without signatures, diplomats crying over hollow screens saying, "We stand together," words that never existed in war zones before Titan rose from the Pacific. On Earth, humans gathered around screens streaming the Council's emergency session, hearing leaders of distant worlds speak with trembling voices, not ordering humans, not judging humans, but begging humans to lead, because humans are the only ones who saw this enemy once and survived long enough to forget it. And the galaxy realized in painful clarity that forgetting is not weakness, forgetting was sacrifice. Ancestors erased their trauma so their children could grow without nightmares. The Council voted without debate for the first time in 30,000 years. A unanimous choice. Earth leads the defense. The message reached Earth's global network like a quiet earthquake. The idea of humankind leading a war against an ancient cosmic hunger feeling surreal and terrifying. People hugging each other in disbelief, children holding their parents' hands tightly, as if the world might fly away. But inside every shaking human soul there was something deeper. A pulse like Titan's heartbeat. A whisper buried in their blood. We have done this before. Titan glowed brighter like it felt humanity's acceptance, its symbols shifting from sorrow into determination. Blue veins of light moving like rivers across metal mountains, the ocean below rising and falling like breath under the ship. And then the greatest assembly of fleets in galactic history formed around Earth. Ships from worlds that fought each other for centuries now aligning wing to wing. Red hulls beside silver crystals, golden shields overlapping with dark gravity plates. Tens of thousands of warships forming a circle around Titan. A circle not of defense but of respect, because everyone now understood Titan is not Earth's weapon. Titan is everyone's last chance. In the silence of space, an old ambassador spoke to the fleet through a channel carried on Titan's energy field, his voice breaking like glass under the weight of history. In ancient war, the strongest fell first. Today, the strongest protects first. And then something happened that no one expected. Titan opened its lower section, revealing not cannons or bombs, but a massive star core. A swirling miniature sun held inside a cage of black rings, light bending around it like reality bowing to power older than physics. And from that star core small fragments broke off, glowing like tiny suns covered in armor, star drones, the legendary sun seeds, recorded only in myths of extinct species. Drones holding energy equal to a warship but carrying no hatred, designed only to intercept enemy void and burn absence with light. The galaxy watched in awe as billions of these drones formed in layers around Titan, each one powered by a drop of the star within, like children made of fire protecting the parent that sacrificed everything, and they spread across space like a glowing shield, turning the sky into a field of moving light. The unity of fleets brought tears even in alien eyes. This was the first war where empires did not seek glory or land. The first war where the purpose of ships was not killing enemies but protecting children who will inherit the day after war. Suddenly deep space sensors screamed loud warnings through every channel. Stars at the edge of the galaxy disappeared 3 at a time, wiped clean from existence like someone erased the night with a cloth. A wave of darkness rolling forward without heat, without noise, without mercy. The enemy, a fleet shaped like void-eating starlight, ships not made of metal but pure absence, darkness folded into hunger, silhouettes shaped like the outlines of killed stars. And when they entered sensor range, every ship in the Unity fleet trembled, because staring at them was like staring at a wound cut into the universe. The enemy broadcast nothing, no demand, no introduction, no politics, no pride. Only a cold signal that repeated in pulses like a heartbeat made of hunger. Memory detected. Erase source. The council broke into panic, but Titan answered before fear could speak. Its voice falling into every mind like iron dropped into water, heavy and calm. Stay behind. Arc leads. And then for the first time since ancient war, Titan moved. Not fast like ships built by fuel and math, but slow like gravity moving a mountain, its engines invisible, its motion bending waves of water in the Pacific without making sound, rising higher until sunlight wrapped its body like a crown, the giant arc casting a shadow that reached the horizon. Humanity watched as the greatest machine ever built by their ancestors left the planet that forgot it, rising with dignity and sorrow, the ocean falling back into place as if a dream closed. Alien fleets followed, forming lines like wings beside the arc, drones ahead like stars guarding the future. The enemy fleet did not slow, did not fear, did not blink. It simply continued forward, eating light, erasing stars. One human child watching from a hospital window asked his father with soft fear in his voice, "Will Titan protect us?" And the father, tears in his eyes for reasons he did not fully understand, whispered, "Titan protects tomorrow, and tomorrow is you." The first clash happened in silence. Drones met void, tiny suns colliding with absence, the collision not exploding but reversing darkness, sparks of light tearing holes into void hulls, burning them like shadows under fire, and enemy ships recoiled, not from pain, but from something deeper, confusion, because they never faced resistance from memory before, never met children who inherited courage without remembering the war that gave it. Alien fleets fired beams not to destroy, but to push darkness away, working together like fingers moving a heavy object, every blast synced with drones' patterns. Titan's voice guided them through minds, sharing strategies written in ancient blood, teaching how to cut void with starlight, how to redirect hunger, how to break a ship made of absence by feeding it too much light at once. And slowly the enemy wave slowed, confused by the unity of species who should hate each other, confused by the return of Ark they thought drowned in ancient sea. In the middle of chaos, the Council realized humanity was doing something impossible, leading a war without hate. Titan never ordered to kill, Titan ordered to protect tomorrow, every shot precise, every move meant to save rather than punish, enemy ships destroyed only when they threatened civilians behind the fleet. Even void creatures noticed. Their pulses changed tone, from hunger into uncertainty. Resistance learned. Erase faster. And then, with horrifying speed, a massive void core appeared behind the first wave, swallowing fleets into total darkness, the true enemy arriving. The one that erased ancient mankind, a star-killing presence that turned suns into dead memory. Titan pulsed once, a single flash like a dying star remembering its life. All drones turned as one, forming a wall of light thicker than atmosphere, trying to block something bigger than war, bigger than hate. Alien commanders cried, watching drones die by billions, small suns burning out like sparks from a bonfire, each death a sacrifice without scream. Titan whispered one line to every mind, so soft it felt like prayer spoken by mourning ancestors. Light lives longer when shared, and then Ark released more seeds, more stars, more children, pouring light into dark like a parent shielding babies from fire with their own body. The galaxy watched in terror and awe. This was not war. This was a species remembering itself through sacrifice. And at the front of this wall of dying light, Titan moved forward alone, facing the void core directly, its star cage glowing brighter than suns, ready to do what its builders never wanted to do, fight, not to win, but to delay so the future can run. Across the universe, every species understood the meaning of arcs rising. Humanity is not fighting for Earth, humanity is fighting for everyone who will ever be born tomorrow. The moment Titan faced the void core alone, space itself looked like it held its breath, stars flickering like they were afraid to shine, and the galaxy realized how small weapons are when compared to sacrifice, because billions of drones died without making a sound, burning themselves like candles to keep the night away. For 1 second longer, and in that 1 second, children on thousands of planets slept peacefully without knowing that tiny stars died for their dreams. Alien fleets watched the impossible. A ship older than memory, carrying a sun inside its heart, standing alone against something that does not know fear, something that never cried for its dead, something that only eats the future, and while commanders screamed strategies, Titan ignored war logic, moving like a parent shielding a doorway from a monster, every light on its hull pulsing like a heartbeat, like the ship itself was alive because of love, not fuel. In that moment, humanity's spirit was visible in metal. Protect first, fight second, never give up tomorrow. Then the void core released its full power, a wave that erased light itself, a scream with no sound, and the universe shook as the front line of drones vanished instantly, their light swallowed, leaving a hole in reality that bent colors like broken glass, and fleets panicked because they saw the truth. This enemy is not an army, it is extinction with direction. A force that turns stars into empty sky, erasing stories, erasing parents, erasing memories so completely that nothing remains to grieve. Titan's star cage glowed brighter until it was painful to look at, the miniature sun inside roaring like a star trapped in metal, and then Titan did something that broke every rule of physics. It opened, not a weapon port, not a gun, but its heart, the cage releasing a blast of pure light into the void, not to destroy but to give, feeding the enemy so much energy that the darkness cracked like ice under heat, screaming in its own language, recoiling from the flood of light, because the void is hunger, and hunger cannot handle being full. Alien scientists cried seeing this. Titan was killing the enemy with mercy, overfeeding it until it collapsed into itself, turning void into fragments that collapsed like dying shadows. The council gasped, whispering like prayers. They are using kindness as a weapon. But Titan was not done. Its voice moved through every mind like a memory spoken from a dying ancestor. We never wanted to kill. We wanted to save. The drones understood and formed patterns around Titan, not attacking, but sealing the broken pieces of void with light, compressing absence into tiny points of gravity that could be studied, not destroyed, and for the first time in the universe's history, the ancient enemy was not erased. It was captured, held alive, its death avoided on purpose. Alien commanders screamed in disbelief. Finish it! End them forever! But Titan refused, its voice filled with sadness so deep even the void seemed quiet. Extinction brings silence, and silence brings forgetting. We choose memory. Those words shattered centuries of war logic. Humanity was choosing understanding over revenge, choosing to study the thing that destroyed them once, to learn how to prevent it from happening again across galaxies. The council broke into disbelief and tears. Humans had the power to end an ancient threat forever, to take revenge for a forgotten age, to win glory on the greatest battlefield ever seen. And instead they chose the hardest path. Mercy, a weapon sharper than hate. Alien fleets watched in silence as Titan lowered the captured core into a containment ring made of light and gravity, sealing it like a sun inside a cage of empathy, and the universe understood something painful and beautiful at the same time. Humanity remembers the feeling of being erased, even if they forgot the details, and so they refuse to erase others, even the thing that tried to erase them. Titan broadcast a message not in language but in emotion. Every species felt it. Every child felt it in their heartbeat. Every elder cried hearing the truth. Power is to protect life, not to end it. That message spread like sunrise through galaxies. War leaders felt their pride melt. Scientists felt their fear turn into curiosity. And ordinary people felt their hatred dissolve into something gentler because now they knew that the strongest species in the universe is not the one that wins wars, but the one that refuses to create more extinction. The void ships remaining tried to flee, but Titan did not chase. Drones blocked their path without killing, holding them like hands holding a frightened animal. And the void pulses changed tone. Not hunger now, but confusion. Why mercy? And Titan answered with a voice that broke even machine hearts. Because we remember what it feels like to lose everything. The galaxy cried hearing that, because behind those words was the memory of mothers who died screaming to hide their children. Fathers who burned star maps so the enemy could not track their family. Friends who erased each other's names so their bloodlines would be invisible, sacrifices so huge humanity started again without history because history was dangerous. Titan projected memories through light. Not clear images, but feelings. Flashes of burning skies, cities made of metal torn apart by invisible claws, humans holding hands in red light, whispering goodbye in languages that no longer exist, children crying while stars fall like snow, and then nothing. Silence, darkness, ocean, and the ark sinking with the last promise sealed inside. One day, when safe, rise again. The council fell to their knees, apologizing to humans who could not hear them, crying for a war they never fought, grieving for ancestors they never met, and realizing humanity has been walking around the galaxy like a child who forgot their trauma, smiling without knowing why scars exist. Titan dimmed slowly after the battle, its star cage closing like eyelids covering light, the drones returning to orbit like tired birds after long flight, and the captured enemy core pulsing inside containment like a frightened animal learning what mercy feels like. Alien fleets gathered around Titan not like soldiers around a king, but like children around a teacher, waiting for the next lesson, waiting for humanity to speak. Earth watched everything with tears. Oceans reflecting starlight, cities full of people crying in living rooms, strangers hugging each other in streets, children drawing Titan in the sky with crayons, old men whispering prayers to the ancestors they never knew. And then Titan spoke one last time for the day, its voice calm, filled with a love so big it felt like the whole universe breathed softer. War ends not when enemy dies. War ends when tomorrow is safe. Silence followed, a silence made of respect this time, not fear. And the galaxy understood the final lesson of humanity. When you have enough power to erase your enemy and you choose to save them instead, you are no longer a survivor. You are it when the last echoes of Titan's message "war ends when tomorrow is safe" faded into silence. Something changed in the galaxy that no weapon, treaty, or law ever achieved. A shift that happened not in governments but in hearts, because thousands of civilizations that spent centuries preparing for war suddenly found themselves learning the meaning of peace from a ship built during the greatest war the universe ever forgot. And the council chamber was no longer a battlefield of pride. It became a gathering of survivors acknowledging a truth that broke their arrogance completely. The strongest species in the universe is one that chooses mercy when revenge is easy, and as drones settled around Titan like stars pretending to be wings, the enemy core pulsed softly inside containment like a heartbeat lost in fear. Not roaring hunger now but small confused pulses like a child learning something new in the dark for the first time. Mercy. Alien scientists studied it not as a monster but as a wound in reality, asking not how to kill it, but how to heal the universe so such hunger never grows again. Because Titan proved the enemy isn't evil, the enemy is broken, born from an ancient collapse that turned dying stars into erasers of memory, and understanding that changed everything. Instead of armies preparing to hunt void across galaxies, research vessels prepared to listen. The Council officially declared a new law, carved into crystal in a chamber that once laughed at humans. Life is to be protected. Memory is to be saved. Mercy is strength. And for the first time in history, every representative signed not for power or advantage but out of respect, tears falling from eyes of species that never cried before. On Earth, people walked outside to look at the sky where Titan hovered above clouds, half spaceship, half promise, reflections of blue oceans shimmering across its armor like the planet was hugging its child made of metal, and humanity felt a deep emotional pull they did not fully understand. Not pride, not fear, but ancestral love, the feeling of seeing something that belonged to their family before history was written, like recognizing a forgotten grandmother in a crowd. Children painted Titan on walls of schools. Elderly people whispered stories to young ones even without knowing details, their voices shaking when they said, "We came from this." Governments issued no speeches of victory, no banners of war, no medals for heroes, because everyone understood the truth Titan taught. Victory is not the enemy dying, victory is children waking up tomorrow under a peaceful sky. The Council asked Earth what they wanted as reward, What lands, what protections, what agreements. And Earth simply requested one thing: share knowledge freely. No species should feel alone again. That answer stunned galaxies. Humans asked not for territory but for unity. And so knowledge flowed like rivers between worlds, star maps, engine designs, gravity math, healing science. Everything once hidden behind walls of empire now moving like sunlight into shadow. And species began to learn languages without borders. Children from different stars talking in classrooms where windows showed Titan floating between clouds and stars. In containment, the void core pulsed slower every day, almost like it was calming down, like hunger shrinking into curiosity. And the moment alien researchers touched its cage, they felt emotion. Not words, not threat, but confusion. The void didn't understand mercy. It didn't understand why humans spared it. And so Titan whispered gently through containment, speaking not to threaten but to teach. You erased us once. We save you now. Remember tomorrow. That message changed the core's pulse into something softer. And for the first time in any archive, the enemy's light matched human rhythm. Two opposite forces learning harmony. Titan dimmed its weapons permanently, sealing Starcore behind layers of metal and memory. Not because the war was over, but because Titan believed a greater war was won. The war inside hearts, the war that makes galaxies choose hate when love is harder. Slowly, Titan descended toward the Pacific again, not like a weapon landing, but like a sacred mountain returning home, waves rising without violence, wrapping around its hull like oceans remembering their guardian, clouds spinning around its peak like halo. Billions watched from screens and shores, crying quietly without knowing why, feeling something ancient. Humans were saying goodbye to a parent who saved them before they were even born. No speeches, no drums, no fireworks, just silence and tears falling into ocean wind as Titan slowly sank below waves that once hid it for thousands of years, its lights dimming like a candle at sunrise. Before disappearing fully, Titan projected one last message into every mind across the galaxy. The final lesson of a civilization that died and returned through its children. We fell so you could rise without fear. Never forget kindness is the strongest weapon. Then water closed over its hull, bubbles rising like stars being born underwater, and the ocean became calm again, like nothing happened, except everything changed. Children on distant planets asked their teachers who built Titan, and those teachers, no matter the species, answered with soft voices, humans did twice. And adults finally understood why humanity forgets war so quickly, why humans love so fiercely, why they cry over strangers, because somewhere inside every human soul is the shadow of ancient sacrifice, ancestors who stood in front of darkness so children could play without fear. The Council declared a new celebration on the day Titan sank, the day of tomorrow. A holiday across galaxies meant not to honor war, but to honor peace. A day where species tell stories of mercy. A day when ships power down weapons and families light small lamps in windows to remind the universe that light survives through darkness. On Earth, a father lifted his child on his shoulders at the beach, pointing at the endless blue horizon and whispering with a breaking voice. The world is safe because someone we never met loved us first. And all around the galaxy, star systems whispered in unity. Humanity did not win because they were powerful, humanity won because they remembered what power is for. In the end, Titan did not become a symbol of fear or a legend of war. Titan became the first chapter of a new galaxy, a reminder that the future is not written by those who destroy, but by those who choose to save. And buried beneath the Pacific, the Ark sleeps again, waiting not for war, but for the day when the galaxy no longer needs warnings, only dreams.